Hey, welcome back to Vortex Garage, and on our last cold start video we made mention that we weren't going to start the long tractor because we had a problem with the starter switch on it. I went ahead and gotten a new one. We're going to put that in today and we'll go ahead and see if that'll cold start for us. So real quick, let me show you the starter switch we're talking about. And so the key is actually, just turns on whether or not it'll crank or not, and this is the actual starter switch. And as you can see, this bit right here is totally broken off. I used to have a bit of a nub here, and I could use a vice grip. It just sort of pivots either way, and as a result, can't do anything with it right now. So, as you can see, it broke off. All right, so whoops, I'm gonna lose parts because I'm not right-handed, but it looks like it's pretty small, right? You think that's it? Well, here is our replacement, just to give you an idea how big they actually are. This is the replacement switch. As you can see, it's a pretty healthy switch. They obviously must run a lot of amps through it. But so the unfortunate part is the only thing that's broken on the switch is really the toggle, which in the old versions was actually plastic. This one does look to at least be some sort of pot metal or cast piece. So hopefully this will last longer. But it's a little bit aggravating that I pretty much have to replace the entire switch because the toggle is broken on it. But as you can see here, I tried to even put something in here. I mean, it's just so bad off. I don't know if I can get anything on there to grab. So, well, it just fell in so you can't see. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and just take off this instrument panel. We'll pop that up and we'll unscrew all the connectors and screw them in the corresponding areas here. We'll feed this through, get it tightened down, and then we should be ready to give this a cold start. Alright, so excuse my voice, I'm actually getting over a cold, but as you can see, swapping out something like this is pretty easy if you lay them side by side. All of the terminals match on the old part and the new part, which is awesome. So I just go one by one, transfer them over, and then I'll slide this up in. So I'm hoping I don't have to try to remove this, that it'll actually kind of just slide up and through that main hole. And then I'll obviously have to take that off before I do that. But I figure first things first, I'll go ahead and transfer all the wiring over and have it ready to go. And I don't have a battery in this right now. If I did, I would have disconnected it because I'm sure some of these are going to be live feeds from that through whatever fuse block or relay system they have. But so to be safe, I don't have a battery even in it. But so one by one terminal to another, getting everything transferred over, and then we'll be ready to pop this on and give it a try. All right, we got the switch all wired up and installed, and it just sort of slid right through. We were able to get the washer and the nut on the top here, so looks like it's going to work fine. So we'll pop the instrument panel back down, go ahead and put the screws back in, and then we'll be ready to toss a battery in here and see what happens. All right, so we got a battery in, and we're going to give it a quick cold start, see if it runs. I haven't checked the coolant since we added that coolant gauge, so I'm not going to run it very long. And I still haven't cleaned out the oil bath air cleaner, so I've just got it kind of bypassed for right now. We're just going to see if it starts up. So got the fuel on, turned off the fuel shutoff. That's our throttle we learned from the last video is all the way at idle. We'll give it a little bit. We'll turn our key. It's in neutral. We'll see if it spins. Wow. It's about 40 out right now, and I swear I didn't touch it prior to this. It probably hasn't run in about 2 months. All right. Well, like I said, let's just see too if we're leaking up here. I want to check that out. That's where we added that new, let me shut her down. So I didn't want to run it too long because I'll show you, we added the that coolant adapter. Yeah, and it's leaking. It didn't really go in right, so I had a feeling I'd put an O-ring on it, and that wasn't going to be sufficient. Yeah, there it is. You can kind of see it there. So I still got to fix that. I just never got around to it. But been dealing with the hoses instead. So we've got the new hoses on for our front boom, and we got to test that out. So I've got some work to do on it, obviously. But the first thing was just get this the starter switch in. It doesn't really have an ignition. It ignites all by itself, compression ignition, being a diesel and all that. But anyway, all right, I'm going to end this video really quick because we just lost our battery in the camera, but I'm happy that this thing cold started as easy as it did. Like I said, it's about 40 out. We're going to finish off our coolant temp gauge install that we did that's still leaking a bit, and then we'll top our coolant off. We'll clean out the oil bath air filter. We'll finish off our new hose installation, and then we should be able to drive this thing around a little more. So I hope you look forward to seeing more of this project on Vortex Garage.